Welcome to Daniel Reviews. I'm Daniel Goodwin. Today we are checking out the Shark Never Change Air Purifier Pet Pro from Costco. Let's get into it. In previous videos, I reviewed air purifiers. I reviewed a smaller model from Govee. Was very impressed by it. I mean, just very impressed by how quiet it was, how energy efficient it was, and it did a great job in smaller rooms. It really wasn't up for a challenge of like a whole house or very large room air purification. But in a room, like my daughter's room, does a tremendous job, and it really makes a big difference. But we have two Beagles. We have a lot of stuff in the air in our house, and we need something that can kind of cover that main living room, dining room, kitchen, open space, you know, which is pretty sizable. Enter in this bad boy from Costco, from Shark. Allegedly does up to about just under 1,500 square feet, which sounds good for what I need. And they're advertising that you never change the filter. I don't know about that. But it's not just that. They got a lot of other things they're broadcasting. Odor neutralizer. If you got pets, that's kind of big. If you got small kids, that's kind of big, actually. Well, we're going to try that. You know, it's designed for dogs and cats and I guess whatever, if you have pigs or reptiles or whatever in your house. And then there's the whole never change technology. So it's supposed to last 10 times longer than anything else, which is not quite the same as never change. 10 times longer. I don't know. Like, that's not the same as never. But whatever. We're going to crack this thing open, set it up, and see what it does. Okay, this is it. This is all that comes in the box. Is just the unit here, a quick start guide, a remote, nice, and I'm pretty sure this is the odor neutralizer technology. So it's some sort of odor cartridge that we put in there. So we'll figure out how that works. Otherwise, yeah, this looks to be all pretty self-contained, which is nice. We'll go through the quick initial steps and see what we need to do to get this going. As always, there's a little bit of setup that needs to be done before you can get going with it. So first we remove these stickers from the bottom. We flip this upside down because inside is the air filter. This just twists and turns off. And we got to pull this massive thing out and take the plastic off of it. All right. We're going to set that down in there, like so. Slide that back on. And you are pretty much good. Let me just look at this one more time. Yeah, good to go. Okay, cool. Okay, next we're going to flip it back over so it's right side up. I'm going to continue taking off all these little pieces of tape that are showing up on here. And labels and whatnot. But here at the top, I don't know if you can see it, is a spot for the odor neutralizer. So we're going to take this bad boy, open it up, and it is just a tiny little thing. Let me see if I can show it to you. Just a kind of like an air freshener. It smells really good, very fresh, and it looks like you do have a control on it as to how much neutralizing you want to do. But let's get this in the thing first. Interesting. There we go. Okay. All right. Yep. All right. Let me zoom in on this so you can see. All right. So this just kind of slides in like that, and then you can pop this up to do which unlocks it and allows you to, well, you can twist to see how much you want to adjust your neutralizing amount. We're going to start with probably right at the lowest amount. All right, we plugged it in, set it up. We're going to, turn it on. Probably put it on an auto mode at the moment. We'll let it'll take a little bit for it to sense the air, and then we'll see what it does. And here's the front of it saying it's obviously checking the air. Right now it says that it's 100% clean air. I guess that might be all right. We'll see. All right, you can see that it's ticked as low as 99%. A second ago it was at 98, so it's already purifying and bringing the air back up. We started at 100%. I saw it drop as low as 98. And then what's affecting the air is I do have a fire in the fireplace over there, producing a lot of smoke. Most of it goes up the chimney, but certainly it's possible some of it's getting in the room. So it's nice to have this purifier, hopefully taking that out. Okay, so I've been using the Shark Never Change Air Purifier for about a week, and have a few observations. Overall, it does a really good job. I think it's definitely the largest air purifier that I've personally tested, and it definitely seems to be more equipped to handle the size of my house, which is great. Those are all positive. It's super, super quiet, which is fantastic. Not that much of an energy draw, even at, you know, elevated fan speed. So all those things, very, very positive. For the most part, the air quality, at least as the Shark measures it, remains at like 100% or 99% almost all the time. Now, if we cook in the kitchen, maybe like fry up some chicken or something that would put a lot of, you know, stuff in the air, it definitely takes a hit. And you see that drop down, you know, 80%, 60%, whatever. What I was a little disappointed though is when it does drop down, even though we had it in auto mode, it didn't kick into a higher gear to try to counteract that very, very significantly. It stayed in its lowest setting, even though it was on auto, and air quality had clearly been impacted. So I was disappointed in that. I thought the whole point of auto is that it would adjust its speed accordingly, and it really didn't. So that was definitely like a negative. The kind of additional feature that it offers, the odor control, that's a little difficult to gauge. I don't have a sniffometer to measure that. And also I am very aware that when you have dogs or cats, you become just accustomed and acclimated to the smell of your dog and your cat. So you don't necessarily notice it, and that's a little difficult to measure if this Shark is neutralizing those odors. You know, certainly it smells fresh, certainly in the surrounding area of the air filter, but I would have to say that it's difficult for me to measure that in any kind of meaningful way. So bottom line, would I recommend the Shark Never Change air filter? Yeah, I definitely would. It's great for large rooms or you know, in our case, our first floor. I think it's a great size. It's massive, it's big. So you do have to be aware of the aesthetics of it, but for the most part, it just looks and functions perfectly, blending into the background. You don't hear it, you don't really notice it. It's just there working, and it does a good job, in my opinion. I even got some compliments. We had people over to the house for New Year's Eve, and a couple were like, "Whoa, is that an air filter?" And they, you know, obviously wanted to talk about it, and they seemed to think that it was obviously working. They'd been to my house before, and I don't know if it smelled bad the last time they came, but they like, yeah, it seems to be doing a good job. So take that for what it's worth. Okay, that will wrap up this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.